What's good? It's your boy Justin. I'm back with another episode. Sorry if I sound a little weird. Still working on the mic and everything. um, but a lot more energy today. Feeling much better. First thing I wanted to talk about was this painting that I came across. I got a lot of bullet points in my phone, so I'm just gonna go over those today because I've been jotting down shit from the past couple days since I recorded the first episode. So what I'm thinking is the first episode, it was utter shit, and I'm a little embarrassed to put it out. So I'm gonna record this one, edit it, because the whole first one, it's already I recorded it, I chopped it up, threw in the intro, and you know slapped it together, made it all nice and sexy for you guys, and then I was like, fuck, I sound like shit in my opinion. Like I know it's not supposed to be good. Like I'm not. I have high hopes for this podcast, but like I know it's gonna be just some off the wall like fun shit. Like I'm just here to have fun. You know what I'm saying? And to speak my mind on some things. So yeah, I got it. I set up SoundCloud, set up all the shit, set up the YouTube, got it uploaded, and it's just sitting unlisted in YouTube. And I'm like, bro, I gotta pull the trigger on this shit. So what better way to pull the trigger than recording the second one and then putting them out at the same time? So then people can watch the first one and be like, oh, this shit's ass. And then take a look at the second one and hopefully it's a little better. I feel more confident. I'm not all depressed and shit. I'll talk about depression later because I don't got that shit no more. But let's do this shit. I'm feeling the energy today. It's hot. Um and I'm feeling good. Shit's been going um pretty mixed in my life. Like honestly, I feel so blessed. I'm so fucking happy. Like I've been waiting on some shit for a few months, and I'm part of me wants to just get annoyed that it hasn't come yet, and then the other part of me is like trust God. It's on the way. The past year with God, we've grown much closer together, and it's been a little tricky because there's certain things that I want that aren't necessarily maybe in the cards for me yet, right? Like God needs to do other things. Like first it was okay, we gotta test the mind. You gotta be able to tame your mind and be able to do things you want to do, and you know put your head down and work sometimes, like build discipline, work ethic. Sometimes I don't like saying the word discipline because it's like um it's it's so overused, but it's true. I've had to build consistency. I've been building consistency for a little while now on just things. I'm starting some new shit in my life. Getting back into some old shit. We're just we're killing it right now. We're killing it, and I know this too shall pass. I love that. I love that quote. Like no matter what you're going through, whether it's good, whether it's not so good, this too shall pass. Whether you feel like you're on top of the world, whether you're at rock bottom in the gutters, this too shall pass. And sometimes it doesn't feel like it will, but if you look back on your life and you think, oh man, fuck, I was in a dark place here, and this fuck shit happened to me. And sorry I'm cursing so much, but it's true. It's like all these bad things happen to you, and then you realize like I got through every single one of those days. It's light work, baby. It's light work. It's too easy. We're fucking like that. We're all like that. We're young kings out here. This shit's too easy. um you believe what you want to believe. If you tell yourself that you're tired, then you're fucking tired. Like if you tell yourself that, oh, you can't do something, you fucking can't. You're right. um but anyways, I've been building consistency and discipline on some things. I was so fucking scared to start this episode today. Oh my gosh, because I'm getting used to getting in front of the mic and the camera. And, well, I don't have a camera up, but you know what I mean. Like getting in front of the mic and just spitting some shit. And it's like, oh man, last episode I felt like I ran out of things to say, or I was saying a lot of ums and ahs, and I wasn't keeping the vibe going, the flow going. So now I'm just gonna go. You know what I'm saying? I'm snapping. I don't know if you can hear that, but just keeping this shit going, and we're gonna have some fun here. So I appreciate everyone who is here. I'm gonna add some new things and continue some old things that we did on the last episode. We're still gonna do the quote of the day and the word of the day, but every episode I want to just do like a little prayer, whatever comes to mind. You know what I'm saying? That kind of popped in my head earlier, and I was like, I'm gonna do that. So every episode I'm gonna pray. We're gonna do the emoji at the end again, to know who made it to the end. I appreciate all them. And yeah, we're just gonna hop right into this. One thing I wrote down earlier was you can ignore God or you can search him out. And I mean, really look for him. You can find him, but sometimes you lose your way. You may get taken down the wrong path and realize somewhere along the line you were swept away from him. You drifted. Now it's your opportunity to come back to him. I think of God I think of the picture where God is reaching out all the way, fully extended, and Adam is barely extending. I love that painting, The Creation of Adam. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up The Creation of Adam, and it's God on the cloud, and then Adam on the other one, and Adam is like barely reaching his finger out. Here, let me turn up the game, and God is reaching down. He's fully extended. He's trying to reach Adam, and Adam is just like drifting away, and he's just barely. He's not even. His arm isn't even fully extended. So it just shows. It goes to show that like God is always reaching out to us, but we are the ones who have to, you know, establish that connection, that relationship, and I think that's super, super important to be aware of because in my life, at least, I'm no saint. I'm going to be real with you guys here. I've fucked up so many times. I was a piece of shit for a long time. And I can admit that. Like, I fucked up and I made a lot of people uncomfortable. And, I did a lot of horrible, horrible things. And I've had to, find my way back to the route. And there's, things that help bring me back to the route. And today I feel like I'm really back on it. We just have to be conscious of when we are slipping away from him, when we're drifting. We have to realize that, recognize what is going on, and then realign ourselves with him, right? So I wanted to share that with you guys. And it's just like random thoughts. I had G Fuel earlier. That's why I feel like I'm on crack. And I just I feel so focused and like calm and relaxed when I drink G Fuel, whether it's the hydration version or just the normal caffeine version. I just love this shit, man. It really focuses you up. I don't drink it every day, only when I need it. I did not sleep well last night. I tell you, I was oof. It was all bad. I'm telling you, I had fucking nightmares. I was up. I was falling asleep. I was cold. It was not it. So I really needed that shit earlier, and I feel great now. Worked out. Got some shit done. Stuck with with what I stick to. And another thing I wanted to bring up, I just saw it now. Doctors. So earlier, I think it was last July. Yeah, it was last July. So almost a year. This is crazy. This is what day is it today? It's the 28th when I'm recording this shit. And so almost a year ago, I started having like heart problems, and like I was having pain in my chest, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. My dad thought it was anxiety. I was like, I don't experience anxiety all that much, and I didn't know what it was, and I actually got sick a few times throughout July. July was kind of hell. Last summer was honestly hell, but I got sick a few times, and nobody knew what it was. So I went to the doctor, and they said that it might be caffeine because I drank like some caffeine, like as much as I do now, probably maybe a little more, but I was like having constant pain and shit, even when I wasn't drinking caffeine. And I believed them. So every time I drank caffeine, I would feel these heart problems, and I would just have this pain, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on with me. So I associated, the pain with caffeine, and I, demonized caffeine. I was like, oh, I can't have that. I would say it like, I can't have caffeine, and I believed that. And then a while back, same thing with inhaler, because I needed an inhaler for a long time because I've had 2 concussions and like a cracked rib or whatever. So I thought I needed an inhaler as well when I would run in heat, because I'm a runner, or was a runner, and I thought I needed those 2 things. And then I was like, all right, fuck this shit, I'm gonna try this because I like placebo effects and I think they're fucking cool. So I was like, I'm just gonna go into the mindset that I don't need this shit. I don't need the inhaler. I'm just gonna go without it, see how I feel. I'm just gonna go without or I'm gonna drink caffeine. I'm gonna try it, and I got into the mindset that I couldn't do certain things, and I truly believed it, so therefore I couldn't. Then when I thought, okay, I can do these things, I'm just psyching myself out. I'm just, my brain's fucking with me, and I actually can do these things, right? I can have caffeine. I can just drink G Fuel whenever the fuck I want. I can run in the heat. I can run whenever, any temperature, anything. I can run, and I won't have a problem. I'm fucking good. I can go lift weights and I'm fine. And then I was, because I genuinely leaned into that shit and I truly believed it. Same thing with my family. We thought, we've been thinking that we're lactose intolerant for a long time, like since I was in middle school or something like that. And I genuinely believed it because other people would like reify, my beliefs. Like I believed I couldn't drink that shit. So like a month ago, I was like, maybe it was more than a month. It was like a month and a half ago. I was like, all right, fuck this shit. I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna try drinking, normal milk, cheese, dairy, whatever, eat pizza, whatever. I'm just gonna have dairy, and I'm gonna do the same thing. And guess what? It fucking worked. I'm telling you, this shit fucking works. Now, I'm not saying if you have like a peanut allergy, or, you need an EpiPen or like some shit like that. I'm not saying just eat fucking peanut butter or whatever. And, because there's actual like ramifications to your actions. Like you have to go to the fucking hospital or some shit. But if you're like gluten free and you've decided that yourself and you self-diagnosed, like fuck that shit, you can eat that. We've been eating this shit for 2,000 years. Shut the fuck up. That's what I told myself. I was like, you're gonna be a fucking pussy and you're not gonna be able to drink milk. Like we've been doing this shit for 2,000 years plus, and you're just being a little bitch. Shut the fuck up and let's do this. So that's kind of how I get through things sometimes. It's like, don't be a pussy, right? And people can call that toxic, whatever. I think we just need to stick to what we want to do. Like if you want to do some shit, do it. Like starting this podcast, it's fucking tough, man. I had to look up how to set up all this shit, and I had to, you know, I got notes in my phone, and I'm doing the best I can. It's really a leap of faith, honestly. Now, I'm not saying go do dumb shit, but I don't know where I'm going with this. I'm just having fun. Um, but yeah, I mentioned bringing myself back to the route, and one thing I mentioned last podcast was my favorite podcast episode with Shia LaBeouf and John Bernthal. That shit really helped me when I was in college back at GCU, in like what, September, November, or October, November. Like it's helped me ever since. Like I used to, when I first came across that podcast, I was going through some shit in college, and at GCU, if you don't know, I'm from Washington, and then went down to Arizona for college. So I was all alone. The only people I knew were my uncle, and that was it pretty much in Arizona. Yeah, that was like literally it. And then maybe like 2-3 friends that are also at GCU. So I was alone for a lot of it. Didn't really have, you know, the best time making friends. It was pretty tough. It was mainly just me doing my shit, and I was there on a mission. I'll talk about GCU more in depth later on because I got a lot of shit to say. But GCU is it's a Christian school, but they like to party. I'll tell you that much. They like to party, and I just remember being at the gym on Halloween lifting weights. There's nobody on campus. There's like one, two, three other people in the gym. The front desk staff, and that was it. Like it was literally nobody on campus. And I was like, man, what the fuck am I doing here? What the fuck am I doing with my life? Um, I'll talk about athletic training and all that shit, but when I came across this podcast with Shia, it really it's like I was blind for so long and then it opened my eyes cuz I could relate to pretty much if not everything that Shia was saying. Like I look up to him a lot now. Like he's one of the people that I don't idolize cuz I only idolize like Jesus and God, but I look up to him in a lot of ways because, you know, he God help bring him back to the route. And you know, when I first saw that podcast, it was when it like first came out. I watched that shit just on my bed, sitting on my bed for like 2 hours, whatever, however long it is, like 2 hours, 3 minutes, and I watched it all the way through, bro. And I just kept watching it. Like I would watch it 2, 3 times a day. I would watch it. I would listen to it. I would fall asleep to that shit. I still, fall asleep to podcasts sometimes, but that one and the Tyson Fury one on Joe Rogan, I love that one too. I would just fall asleep to this shit, and I would try to. I mean, I have most of the podcasts like memorized. Like I could follow them at some parts, and I know um like I can follow them with their words, but I know the whole framework backbone of that podcast, like when things happen, the time frames, shit like that. And you know, he kind of gave me the blueprint, and he even says in it like he wants to help bring people back to the route. And he really gave me the blueprint of like, okay, you fucked up, you're a piece of shit, where do we go from here? Okay, you hurt these people, what can you do from here? Like, oh, you did these things, where do we go now? What's the next step? Okay, great. These are the avenues. And I became self aware almost like, okay, these are the things I'm doing. This is how it's hurting people and hurting myself. How can we be better? What can we do to make up for that if we can? Right? And he gave me a lot of courage to become better and, to kill my ego. He helped me kill my ego a lot because I used to deal with that. Ego death is something I've struggled with for a long time, and I still do. I have to kill my ego every day. Um, there's a quote: "We die every day." I'm pretty sure that's by Seneca. You could fact check me, but I'm like 99% sure it's Seneca. Because I like that quote. That quote. But I still have to kill my ego every day and monitor it because you know ego death, but that motherfucker will pop back up. you know. Um, the way Shia spoke, the way he would talk about his wife and his daughter and his friends and his family, his mannerisms. I love that podcast a lot. I think I want to go watch it again. I've watched that more than any other podcast. I love it. I love it so much. And you don't even need to watch it all the way through. Like sometimes I'll just put on the last like 33, 35 minutes, where he talks about his wife and shit like that. And, sometimes I'll play it from the beginning or, you know, but I'll just skip to like some parts if I want to hear that certain thing, because he helps me a lot. Even though I've listened to it like hundreds of times, I still, you know, he still helps me a lot because there's always that reminder. So I love that podcast. And then Tyson Fury's, because I came across it and the way he talks, like I love Tyson Fury's his story and his path to God. I think it's really inspiring. I really I really love it. I love it, man. The shit warms my heart. I love those two podcasts, and then I could look through my other episodes, but I just like what people have to say, because no matter who it is, whether they're a, you know, 15-year-old kid or they're 37 or they're 90, you can learn something from everybody. In the grand scheme of things, none of us really know shit. We're all just little kids trying to do the best we can. Like, we're all just God's children doing our best every single day. And all you can do is your best. You can't do anything more. You can't do anything more. Your best is all anyone can ever ask of you. And I think it's important to remember that, because sometimes we hold ourselves to higher standards that are just, it's impossible, it's perfection. Ooh, I just thought of Tony Robbins. I wanna listen to one of his podcasts now, because he has a lot of good things to say. New shit in my life. Well, let's see. 4th of July is coming up. I still don't know what I'm doing for that, but I have gotten more into working out. I still work out every day, but I'm getting a little more active than I would. And what else am I doing? Trying to meditate and do more yoga. Don't judge me. If you do, then fuck you. I don't give a shit. But doing more yoga, getting back into it. I now do it like once, maybe twice a day. But I think it goes hand in hand with meditation, because there's, you know, your body is just as important as your mind and your soul. They're all linked. So if one's lacking, then you can't really fully optimize what you're doing. So getting back into that, that's pretty cool. I'm actually enjoying it. Um, Honestly, I was talking to God and I was like, man, I'm so grateful, because I thought I was lacking so many things. Here, let me adjust the mic. I thought I was lacking in so many things, and I was like, man, I sat back and I was like, I got so much shit. I got love in my life. I got family. I got food. I got, shelter. I got so many things going for me. I got the framework. I'm learning new things. I'm building myself up, becoming better. Like, I have my ideal life besides the monetary side. And I don't really expect to monetize this podcast, like, at some point. Like, if we grow big enough to where I start making money, like, dude, sick. Get more mics, get more equipment, and then have other people on the pod. Like, that sounds like a vibe. Because right now, I just have this one mic and then a Scarlett Solo and you know one pair of headphones. So I don't have other people that I can really do it with yet. Um, but yeah, I got my ideal life, and I'm so blessed. I'm so happy. I thank God every day, man. I thank God for different things, and sometimes I know every single one of us can be better at being grateful. We can just thank God more just for the little things, like I got two arms, I got two legs, man. Let's do the prayer right now. Thank you, Lord, for the people listening, all their functioning limbs. We got clothes on our backs, we got food in our stomachs, we got water we're able to drink. You got a phone or whatever you're listening to this on. We got transportation, shelter. We have all these amazing things, and I'm so blessed. I'm so thankful, Lord. So thank you. And thank you, Lord, for everyone listening to me right now. Whatever they're going through, just just know that God's got you. I don't know if I mentioned it in the last episode, but I've always wanted to do a podcast. It's one of the things that it's been on my bucket list. That, having a son, writing a book, and planting a tree. There's a quote on that I might use later on, but if you know, you know. So I've always wanted to do a podcast for a while now, and my friend, bless her heart, she said, I told her, and she was like, just go do that shit, man. I think that would be, I think that'd be great. Go, just start, do it. She really gave me that push. And then today, to record this episode, because I was contemplating this episode, I was listening to an episode of Mom's Basement. Keemstar said, bless his heart, I love Keem. Keem said, like, he was comparing his first episodes of Drama Alert, like the early ones, and then he was comparing it to now, and he was like, man, look at that shit, like, I wasn't even talking right, and it was all over the place, and then look at now, it's all polished, and it looks great. So as of right now, it's really just me experimenting, doing the best I can, and figuring things out. And I think that's okay. I don't expect to be perfect. I hope you guys don't expect me to be perfect. And if you do, then I'm sorry, I never will be. But I'm doing the best I can to get better every episode. So episode might still be shit. It might be great, but I feel like I've done better at segueing things and just keeping it going, keeping the flow going. Right now we're at 31 minutes and 28 seconds. Shit's flown by. I'm having a great time, honestly. Like, we've gone through 3-4 bullet points, and I've just kind of gone on little tangents. But if you're here, you're listening. I appreciate you guys. I was looking outside because today it's super sunny. The weather is crazy. It's 80s this whole week for 4th of July, and then next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's all high 80s. It was supposed to be 90s. It was earlier. It was going to be like 95. So we'll take it day by day. But man, it's getting hot. It's getting sunny. I was just appreciating the view, and I just love looking at shit. I like looking at like stars and sunset. I like looking at the sky and clouds. I can really like appreciate clouds because during track season, when it was like sunny and cloudy, it was just, I don't know, I could appreciate that. I'm a homebody, but I don't like really going out into nature all that much, but I can look at it from afar and I can appreciate it. I like looking at it. I love when it's dark blue outside, like when it's fall or like winter, especially winter. I don't like fall that much, but when it's winter and it's dark blue and it like rains, oh man, dark blue and rainy, that is a vibe. Or when it's like super super dark outside, um, and it's pouring rain and you're trying to sleep, like the rain hits the roof and the windows, and it's like chaos is all around you, and yet it's so serene and tranquil. I love that. I think it's, I don't know, you could use that as a metaphor for life. Like, when shit's chaotic all around you, you can appreciate it when it's weather, but in your life you can't. So I want to do better at appreciating the low points, because it can't always be high, and these low points they do pass. I was talking to my friend earlier, and we were talking about like society's expectations, or shit that they want you to want, or they don't want you to do, and they want you to like maybe do other things, and getting shunned or like shamed for shit. And I was thinking to myself, because she brought up good points, but I was thinking like, I feel weird sometimes when it comes to like me desiring things. I sense a push to want certain things that I really don't care about, things that to me are frivolous pursuits, and I don't derive meaning from, things that won't truly make me feel fulfilled. Um, I wrote down, ask yourself, how do you picture your ideal life? Do you picture, for me, I picture, I want to be just financially free. I think everyone wants that. But I genuinely have put in the framework of financial success in my mind. I've read books on this shit. Um, I'm by no means a financial expert, but I've put in the work and the time to understand things better. I challenge the thoughts I do have, like why do I care about things? Um, what do I just don't care about that other people care about? Do other people want this thing? Why? Do I really want that thing? Why? Or did someone tell me I should like that thing or I should want that thing? For me, I picture my life as, I want as much free time to be at peace, right? I don't want to be at war all the time. I don't think anyone does. And if they do, then, that's their thing. But for me, my ideal day, honestly, it consists of a lot of just hanging out, meditating, reading, which I'm kind of living my ideal life right now, just with a lot more stress. I'll talk about this later on, but I really, really want to adopt a son. And my ideal day has my son playing around, maybe at a park or a field or something, me chilling under a tree. It's a hot, sunny day, and I just picture him running around with the biggest smile on his face, just having fun. That to me is like, you've made it. That is everything. I love that. I'm just picturing that right now. I really love that. Um, I don't really want a big house. You know, I'm thinking about like what other people usually want. I don't like expensive things all that much. I was thinking about it earlier. Like, my dream car is a black Jeep Wrangler Sport. Like, I don't care about the year. I don't. I like the was it the 2 door, or not the 2 door, the 4 door like Jeeps, where they get the front and then the one back. Not the 6-seater. Like the 4 seats. Maybe you got the plastic roof on, or you got no roof. You got the roll bar, whatever it's called, the roll cage. I love that shit. Just a black Jeep Wrangler Sport. And then, yeah, man, I love that shit. That, and then there are some cars, like, I'm totally happy if the only car I ever had was a Jeep Wrangler Sport, a black Jeep Wrangler Sport. Man, I would hop out my car. This is the goal, to hop out your car, whether you're going to the grocery store or wherever, you're walking, you turn around to lock your car, and you just look and you're like, man, that is the most beautiful thing, the most beautiful car out there. Whether it's a JDM shitbox, whether it's, a Ferrari or a McLaren or a Lamborghini, whatever it is, or if it's a fucking Honda Civic, Toyota Tacoma, whatever the fuck it is, if you love it, like, no one can hate on you for that. There are cars that, like, I want a 2016 Audi R8, or I would like, I don't necessarily want it. I want a Jeep Wrangler Sport because that's like totally doable. But McLaren P1, a nice orange McLaren P1, fuck, I love that shit. But it's like, I would like that, but at the same time, there's a lot of people, like, I don't need that. Um, there's a lot of people that can't even control that, and they drive supercars all the time. McLarens are fucking fast, and I don't know if I would be able to control it, or if I would be able to drive it properly, because I'm not a particularly slow driver. I'm not speeding. I just don't feel the need. I just think about my safety and other people's safety. I like naming things. It's fun to me. Like, I like naming the podcast episodes and just taking a second to look back at what you created and taking a few words to describe it. I think it's fun and exciting. Like, the first episode, it's gonna be called Beginning. This episode, I'm still deciding on the name. I don't know, because I remembered a lot of things, but honestly, it's just a lot of new things. So I might just do confidence. We'll do like episode 2 confidence. Yeah, fuck it. Um I also looked up today's word of the day. I'll do it right now cuz I already have it open. I have dictionary.com open. I love this app. I recommend this to everybody. Not sponsored, by the way. Not sponsored by G Fuel either. If they do want to sponsor me, hell yeah, man. Or heck yeah, man. Love that shit. I am looking for sponsors. That would be sick. I'm not like actively searching, but like if someone has, if someone wants to sponsor me, as long as you're a good company I fuck with, like, let's do it. But today's word of the day is jubilant. It means feeling or showing great joy, satisfaction, or triumph, rejoicing, exulant, jubilant. So it's spelled Jubilant. So now I'm going to start writing down the word of the days. I think this episode will be pretty long. We're already at 42 minutes, a little over that. And we're just rolling. We're having fun. Um, ooh, going back to earlier, like outside sources. I told my friend, this is something I wrote down. Everyone cares at least like a little bit. Everyone cares at least a little bit, even if it's just in the back of our mind. So remember, like, if you say you don't care about other people's opinions, there's a small part of you that genuinely does, but it's just, do you take that shit to heart? You may not take that shit to heart, but you hear it. You hear it, and your subconscious mind, you know, grabs onto that. So if someone says some shit about like you being fat or ugly or you can't do something, you may dismiss it, but in the back of your mind, you're like, you may be telling yourself like, no, I'm not, but a little part of you may believe it. So you just got to do your best to, tune it out. One thing for me that has been pretty difficult has been detaching from outcome. That's a part of manifestation. And I get impatient sometimes, I get impatient, and I got to work on that. I'm working on it. It's hard when you spend months doing some shit, and sorry I'm cursing so much this episode. I don't know. I'm in a fun, lighthearted mood. I'm just bouncing around. I got too much energy right now. I'm messing with the cables. But when you do something for a while and you don't see results, let's just say you're trying to sell some shit, and you're making progress on your pitches, and you may not be selling anything, but in the back of your mind you're like, oh man, I don't know if this is gonna work, and shit like that. But you're seeing progress in your pitches and the way you advertise it and things like that. Like, yes, it's still progress, but it's still difficult because you haven't sold anything, and you may still get you know no answers or doors slammed in your face if you're like a door-to-door salesman. I don't know, that's just an analogy. And another thing has been staying positive and continuing that belief, because especially when you're the only one, I can relate. I got my hand up right now. When you're the only one that really cares about you making it, like, I heard this quote. It was like, The only person who really wants to see you surpass them is like your dad, you know? And it depends. Because, like, what if you don't have a dad? Then what? You know, you're kind of lost. And then no one wants to see you win. Like, people want to see you win to a certain degree, but they don't want to see you doing better than them. That's one thing I had to. It's one thing Shia kind of taught me was to, you know, someone's winning. And Gary Vee, oh my gosh, I love Gary Vee. I recommend Gary Vee to everyone. He's the best. He's the GOAT. But when someone else is winning, you're winning. And when you're winning, someone else is winning. But in practicality, sometimes it doesn't work that way. Like, sometimes you win and you get shit on. And you're like, but me winning is, you know, helping you. Or it's not push, 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 take, take, take. I'm the only one who can win. Fuck everybody else. It's like, no, let's bring everyone up, you know? Let's all win. Why can't we all win, right? And winning doesn't mean having $1 million or, you know, starting a Fortune 500 company and, you know, having a billion different things. Winning could be like, man, we got high spirits today, you know, bringing the brothers up. Oh, they're going through some shit. We're hanging out. Let's go do something fun and let's keep pushing. That could be winning, right? So I'm working on bringing others up because for so long it's just been me and God. And at one point in my life, man, I'm so glad I have God, because for so long I didn't even have myself. I had no one. I didn't even have me. Like, fuck, I'm just so happy that I'm so blessed. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful for just having God. Because if I don't have anyone else and I have God, then who cares? I may be a little lonely, but I'm going to be okay, right? But if you don't have yourself and you don't have God, fuck, man, that I don't wish that upon anyone. I don't wish that upon anyone. No one. Whether you've done me wrong, whether you've shit on me, whatever, I don't recommend that. I don't want that for anyone. I want everyone to find God or something that they can attach themselves to and really truly believe in. Because, you know, if you don't subscribe to religion or philosophy, what are you following? What are you subscribing to? Really? Are you believing, or are you subscribing to politics? For me, like, I'm not really gonna really get political on here. I couldn't care less. I think news is stupid. I just try to avoid all that shit. It's just mental. It's just a headache. I don't care. I don't care enough. But are you going to subscribe to what someone else says? You know, are you going to subscribe to what people want you to subscribe to? Are they going to like push some shit on you and you know, you believe it because you don't have a framework for your life? I think of religion and philosophy, whatever you believe in, if you believe in anything, it's a framework for life, you know? You follow the Bible, you follow the Quran, you follow these things, you follow the rules that they set in place. And whether you're Christian, Muslim, you're Buddhist, whatever, Jewish, I think believing in something is better than believing in nothing. Whether you believe in philosophy, you know, believing in anything is better than believing in some dumb shit, in my opinion, or just in nothing, right? Because in my opinion, what downside is there to believing in something, right? Oh, you were wrong. Okay. You go your whole life living happier, a better life because you have some sort of meaning behind what you do, right? Let's say Christianity, because I'm a Christian, it's easier for me to relate to this. And a lot of people are Christians. I think it's like 2 billion plus people. are Christians. So let's say you're Christian and you go your whole life believing in God, and you know, you die, God forbid there's no heaven, and it was a waste. Quote unquote, it was a quote unquote waste. Okay? You lived with a certain framework, being the best person you could be for God, and you died, and oh well, right? But if you live your whole life, let's say as an atheist, because it's the other side, it's the inverse, and you live your whole life, you have no meaning or purpose, you shit on Christians, and you know, you die, and then eternal hell. That sounds pretty shitty to me. Like, I wouldn't want to do that. I mean, if you believe in other religions, like, I'm not gonna. I mean, I would like for everyone to be a Christian, but we're all brothers and sisters. Like, I'm not gonna hate on you for that. But if you believe in nothing, or you shit on other people because they believe in something, that's not right. In my opinion, that's not right. I don't fuck with that. And I think you really got to take a look inside and be like, what do I really want? Is this really helping me? Is this really benefiting me? Am I helping other people? Am I being useful to not only myself but others, you know? That's just something to think about. Today's quote. I saw this video earlier and this guy was talking. His name is Pastor Scott Wilson, and he said, "If you talk about people to other people, you will grow to hate them. But if you talk to God about people, you can't help but love them the way God does." Or the way He does. Let me reread that for you. If you talk about people to other people, you will grow to hate them. But if you talk to God about people, you can't help but love them the way He does. That is by Pastor Scott Wilson. Scott Wilson on Instagram. Shout out to him. But I thought that was pretty cool. If you're not a Christian, like, I don't have any hate towards you. I love you no matter what. I love everyone and everything. Um, if you don't believe in God, whatever, but you know, if you're open to faith and you're interested, then shoot me a DM and we can talk about it. I would love to, or just in the comments, let me know your thoughts on Christianity and just faith in general, religion, philosophy. I want to get more into philosophy and other religions. I want to read the Quran, and I want to explore other philosophies because right now I only know Stoicism. I've read a little on Buddhism, and I think it's interesting. I do some of their practices, like I meditate and things like that. So I do believe in a lot of their philosophies. But let me know in the comments. I know what it is. Today's emoji is going to be the palm tree. I really, really like the palm tree. Let's do it. Palm trees down in the comments below. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. 58 minutes. Honestly, that felt like 5 minutes. That was really, really quick. It's like 6 o'clock right now. Jeez. I still don't have like a framework for intro outro. I just say like what's good, and on the way out, just want to say that I love y'all. Appreciate everyone that interacts with this podcast, whether you just watching, whether you're commenting, whatever you're doing to engage with the content. I appreciate it. Share it with other people. Hopefully you guys like this. I'm having fun with this, honestly. I'm having fun, and I hope I can reach more people, and I just hopefully I can reach you guys and help you with whatever you're going through, just to give you half an hour to just chill and listen to me talk about dumb shit or just whatever comes to mind. So all right, I will see you guys in the next episode. I love every single one of you guys. Have a blessed day. Peace.